The lob is up, and we are underway from Pinnacle Bank Arena. Exhibition Game 1 in the 2023-24 college basketball season is underway. Kendall Coley gets the ball right out of the jump. They feed it right down to Markowski. A huge size advantage for Nebraska today. She misses the initial tip, but then an offensive rebound's kicked out. Good ball movement. Darian White, her first shot as a Husker is a three.
White last year only shot about 24% from three. Didn't attempt a lot of threes either. Only shot 33 three-pointers last year at Montana State. That was a career low.
3-0 right out of the gate. Darian White making an impression already. They hand it off top of the key. Rosenquist, she tries to get around a screen. Rosenquist goes all the way in, but faces the taller Markowski, who gets a piece. White wants to push. Now outside Shelley, who's left open. She can shoot it, and she knocks it down.
Already you see White pick up a three-pointer and an assist. Nebraska's running, playing well in transition in the early going.
161 made threes for Shelley in her Husker career. Now underneath, spinning on the block, tough shot. Bounces off the rim, rebound to White and Nebraska. See, Nebraska really wanted to push the pace here in the early going. They feed it underneath. Coley missed a step for the first time, but then spins and scores.
Yeah, I think Dakota Wesleyan wanted to travel there, and they might have had an argument.
Quickly up the other way, it's Enan. Wesleyan trying to get something going inside early despite having a size deficit as the jumper from Yost is missed there. Markowski corrals the rebound. Here comes Shelley pushing yet again. Shelley picks up her dribble inside, skips it out White. White goes baseline, aggressive drive. Now top of the key for Shelley. 14 to shoot. She'll reset. Coley with a big screen up top. Shelley with 8. Shelley wanted a step back, but good defense. Now feeds it underneath. Markowski cuts to the bucket, left it short, and the rebound into the hands of Sprackle. And now Darian White right away, stealing it right back for the Huskers. Spins and scores, plus the foul. Back here at Bowlin Stadium, the 14th ranked Missouri Tigers off to a quick start, up 1-0 over the Huskers as Billy Andrews looks to lead things off and have a better time around this time than Game 1 of the doubleheader where they only scored 4 runs.
Yeah, and she just made that nice defensive play in the top of the first, almost forcing a double play that would have kept the 1 run so far in this game off the scoreboard. But the throw ended up being just a tad too far off from that first base bag for Bella Bacon to make the catch.
We get our first look at Sierra Harrison this evening, and she fires in a strike. Harrison, a 4-0 record, .23 ERA through 30 2/3 innings. Has only given up 12 hits this year, 3 runs, 1 of them earned, 7 walks to 22 strikeouts. She has been lights out for the Tigers this season. 0-1 pitch misses high and outside. Counts even at 1.
And for Nebraska, they only scored 4 runs last game against Wichita State, so going from tough pitching to tough pitching is never easy. And that's exactly the scenario they're in right now.
Andrews has been one of the hottest bats in the Big Ten to start this year. She slings one down the left field line, but it drops foul. They're batting .467, 6 home runs, which leads the team in 8 RBIs. A senior from Gretna, Nebraska. A name that a lot of Nebraska fans have grown to know and love with this softball program. One of really the better players in the last decade for this program. And the pitch home. That one floats outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Husker shortstop. Coming off of a Big Ten Player of the Week honor, Billy Andrews is, where she went 13 for 21 in a 5-game span. 10 for 13 against top 25 opponents. And she takes the ball high and tight. The count is full.
Yeah, this is going to be a very important matchup to watch in this game. You've got Harrison, one of the best pitchers in the SEC so far this year, and then you've got Billy Andrews, the top bat for this Big Red team.
Payoff pitch, swung on and missed, and Harrison gets it going early with a strikeout.
And right there, Harrison wins that matchup for the first time today. We'll see it a couple more times most likely, but that first pitch, or that last pitch, kind of rising up high on Billy Andrews. A little bit too far underneath it, but we'll see if her sister Brooke can figure it out here.
Batting second here in game 2, averaging .244 this year, 1 home run, 7 RBIs. And Harrison fires. That one's into right center field, and it will drop for a base hit. One hops the wall. Andrews around first, slides head first into second, and the Huskers have a 1-out double.
Nice job there by Brooke Andrews to pick up her younger sister, who just took Harrison long in that at-bat prior, and you see that ball get down right in the gap in right center. And all of a sudden, the Huskers have someone in scoring position, something they didn't see a lot in game 1 today.
That brings up Sammy Bland with an RBI opportunity to try and even this game up at 1. 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. And Brooke Andrews on second base. Pitch home from Harrison. That's a dribbler over to second. Gallagher's got it. She'll throw over to first in time for out number 2. That advances Andrews an extra 60. So Emerson Cope tasked with trying to drive in the run with 2 outs. The designated player here today for the Huskers is Sierra Harrison. Will have a meeting on the mound. Or in the circle, I should say.
Either works. I've heard both.
The Cope, a 300 hitter this year with 1 home run, 5 RBIs. She has Brooke Andrews on third after her 1-out double.
And the hit right here to advance Andrews all the way home. That would be huge for some momentum early to tie this one up.
Harrison fires. Right down the pipe for strike 1.
We mentioned how hard it is to score against Sierra Harrison, whose ERA is under 1 so far this year. So to be able to scratch one across in the first inning would be huge for this Husker team.
She's only given up 1 earned run all year. Second pitch home, swung on and missed. So no balls and 2 strikes to Cope. And Sierra Harrison, 1 pitch away from getting out of a little bit of trouble. Harrison's 0-2. High and outside. You mentioned momentum, and Huskers currently in the midst of a 10-game stretch against NCAA tournament teams from a season ago. If you could try and pick one off here, that would be massive. And that one into shallow right, down for a base hit. Cope ties it up as Brooke comes in to score, and it's 1 apiece.
I feel like the Salt Dogs would like to get at least 1 back after surrendering 1 in the top half of this inning. This one's a ground ball over to shortstop. Hatch has it over, but he throws it into right field. Panis gets up, he races into third. Drew will stay put at first base, and a critical error from the Monarchs middle infield, and now the runners are on the corners with still only 1 out.
Yeah, just a huge miscue. And it's not an overly difficult play from Hatch. And this has been one of the problems for Kansas City all season. They have not been a very good defensive team. And Hatch, yeah, he's got to rotate his body. But a sidearm flick over towards Wiley, it just looked like a rush to throw a little bit. And I know you're trying to turn 2, but you, at the very least, have to just guarantee yourself 1. What could have been an inning-ending double play. Instead, the Salt Dogs now have the tying run back at home plate.
First pitch to Zerbrug is up and in. He dodges it. It's 1-0. That's error number 79 for Kansas City this year, which is the most in the American Association. They're dead last in fielding percentage as well at .971 coming into tonight. 1-0 pitch, and that one misses upstairs. It's 2-0 to Zerbrug. Panis at third. Divine at first. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 7th. Salt Dogs trail by 3. And the 2-0 pitch. That one shot the other way, down the line. Fair ball into right field. Here comes Panis. Drew Devine racing to third. He gets the green light. Throw on the way. The cutoff throw will go to third. Devine in safely, and the Salt Dogs are down by only a run. It's 12-11. Zane Zerbra comes through in the biggest way.
Well, how about that? A huge miscue from Hatch at short. The Salt Dogs presented with an opportunity. Zerbrug, who has not started much at all lately, is injected into the leadoff spot to begin this series just to try and change things up for the Salt Dogs, and he comes through with a 2-run triple. What was that we said earlier about triples being hard to come by in this ballpark and it being especially tough down the lines? Well, that was about as perfect as it could be. Zerbrug pokes it down the line. He gets lost in that right field corner. Gives him plenty of time to get to third. Panis and Devine both score, and it's a one-run game at the bottom of the 7th inning. Who thought we would see this when Kansas City at one point led 11-2 in the 4th?
So Nate Sampson comes to the dish with only one out and the tying run on third base. Zane Zerbra comes up huge with a triple. First pitch, and that one's called a strike over the outer half to Sampson. And it's a 1-1. Nate is 0 for 1 tonight. He's walked a pair of times, laid down a sac bunt, and reached on an error. Corners of the infield play in. Sampson with a ground ball over to shortstop. This will score the run. They have trouble with it, and the throw gets away. Sampson up to second. The ball game is tied, and the veteran comes through.
This is unbelievable. Another miscue from Hatch at short on a routine ground ball. I mean, that is a play a professional shortstop should make 99% of the time. So not only does he have the huge miscue on what would have been an out at second on the ground ball hit by Devine, you get a huge miscue with the Salt Dogs one run back, tying run 90 feet away. The run would have scored regardless, but now the go-ahead run in scoring position.
And it's in scoring position for Luke Roscom, who takes a strike. Roscom 0 for 3, trying to extend that 42-game on-base streak. Has driven in a run with a sac fly. We're all knotted up at 12. 0-1 pitch. Joss misses outside, and it's 1-1. The Salt Dogs were down 11-2, and we are tied at 12 in the bottom of the 7th with still only one out. 1-1, and that runs in and hits Roscom, and there's the on-base streak to 43. He does it the painful way, but he does it regardless. So now 2 on for Jason Rogers, and still only one out. Jason tonight is 1 for 3 with an RBI double. He's also walked. Rogers with 3 doubles in the series. And this is one of the wildest Salt Dog games you can remember. Sampson on second, Roscom on first. Ball game tied at 12, and time is called. Rogers with runners in scoring position, batting .231 this year. He's driven in 5. First pitch, and that one's a called strike over the inner half at 89. 3 runs in here in the bottom of the 7th. And the pitch. Rogers line drive into right field, base hit. Sampson started to go back to third. Now he's getting the wave around. Here comes the throw. It goes to second, and the Salt Dogs have come all the way back from 11-2 to 13-12.